What are you doing?
About to kick off this YouTube live. Alright, it's actually live.
You got a link?
What'd you say?
You have a link?
See if you can see it from my channel.
Alright. Your Twitch channel?
YouTube. Cautious Dan Age.
Oh. I was like, I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to market YouTube from Twitch, but...
Yep. Alrighty. Are you on it?
I got Project Dan H.
Awesome. We just had somebody come in and drop. Oh. Here, let me send you the link.
Cautious Dan H. Oh, I see.
Your insurance claim has been sent.
Say something?
Check 1, 2. We are live on YouTube, streaming some bounties.
Vehicle selected. Your vehicle has been delivered to the
Alrighty.
following location.
You are just joining in.
Please
Welcome.
vacate the game. Goodbye.
We are going to be running some bounties in Star Citizen.
We're getting an audio loop.
Audio loop?
Yeah.
Are you talking to me on Discord and listening on YouTube at the same time?
No. I have YouTube off.
And the
I
audio...
can hear myself.
Oh, that's because you're on Discord and I'm on Game Audio.
Oh.
So.
Oh, I can hear. They can hear me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh. Well.
Alright, if you're just joining in, welcome. We are going to be running some bounties in Star Citizen. If you've got any questions, feel free to let me know. I'm just going to dive right into it. The first ship that I'm taking out is the Mustang Delta. Sue, if you're here, go ahead and feel free to ping in chat if you see any audio or visual issues. We had some issues the other day with the stream quality, but I think I've gotten those ironed out. So we are just gonna jump right into it. Hope everybody's having a good day. Oh, Lord have mercy, somebody's radar locked me.
Thank you. And please visit
I'm taken off from by Genie Point and Arccorp, and I am going to maybe make myself scarce before I grab some bounties. Because somebody's got a radar lock, and I don't see any NPCs, so... Don't really want a PvP with a player with a potentially better ship. Or just really in general right now. I want to run some bounties. That's what we're gonna do. So we're gonna start off with some, with a light, or low risk is what it stands for, the LRT. Just to kind of get warmed up. I have not done that much ship-to-ship combat recently, so that a shot. Also, if you are just joining in, feel free to say hi in chat. Ask me any questions you might have. I love questions. And it can be about bounty hunting or Star Citizen in general. We'll take them all.
Quantum travel engaged.
So this is the Mustang Delta. It is not one of the default starter ships, but it's really close to one called the Mustang Alpha. Normally, I do fly a Mustang Alpha from time to time. I just picked up a Delta mostly to try it out. I think the gun hard points are very slightly different.
Quantum travel engaged.
But for the most, like, the hit points, the shields, everything else is the same. So I kind of want to show everybody what it looks like to run bounties and what is basically a starter ship. Because they're really, you know, as long as you stay evasive a little bit and don't get yourself dead, they are not too horrible, especially at the lower levels. So if you need to grind some up for rep, or to save up for some parts for your ship, you know, like new guns, the like, it can be pretty easy. And really one of the first activities you can get into it in Star Citizen with a low barrier to entry. Yeah, I kind of recommend people do like box delivery missions to start out, just because it teaches you to fly your ship. But the lower level PvP bounties are pretty cake-like. There's really no reason not to jump into those somewhat early. Alright, so we got a Gladius is the target. I've got about 1,500 meters of range, so I'm going to close in on him a little bit. Just give him the guns. Balance or move some of my power to weapons. I'm going to keep his shields from coming back up. He's awake. His shields are already down, and I actually have more guns than him. Now, against other players, the Gladius is looked at as a pretty meta PvP ship. Oh, we got missiles. The Gladius is looked at as a pretty good... Ah, we didn't get away from that one. Gladius is a pretty good PvP ship, but I actually have more guns than it. The reason it's a better... viewed as a better PvP ship, it is a bit more nimble than the Mustang. But especially if you're new, it's not that much more nimble. Like, not so much that if you're still getting used to the game, you would notice.
Has been destroyed.
And he is wrecked. Sometimes I like to shoot their ships as they fall out of the sky, just to clear them off of my radar. Had a friend. Where'd his friend go? I must have flown out of radar range. Alright, well, if he pops back up, we'll deal with him. We did a low risk. There is a very low risk below low risk. If anybody wants to see that, I will run one. But I'm just going to jump up to medium. Now, I was running mediums in a Aurora MR the other night. Which, the Aurora MR and the Mustang Alpha are kind of like the two main starter ships people get if you just get the base game package. And I prefer the Mustang entirely.
Quantum travel engaged.
The Aurora is, in my opinion, not awesome, and especially not in Atmosphere. In Atmosphere, its flight characteristics are just garbage.
Engaged.
In space, it does a little better, but I still think it's... I still think it's kind of a garbage ship.
Quantum travel complete.
Excuse me. Alright.
Quantum travel engaged.
So, we're gonna go towards, what is it, this Gon Shiro character. And go see what he has to say.
Quantum travel complete.
Now, I am playing with one joystick, but this is... Star Citizen's totally doable with mouse and keyboard. I have encountered some people who are pretty good at PvP who just play mouse and keyboard. I mean, they're better than me, so who am I to judge? Went a little red out there because I got turned too sharp an angle downwards. It's okay. Alright, so we got an RSI, we got an Aurora LN, a Cutlass Black, and an Aegis Stalker. We're trying to come from the side and get this Aurora first. Oh, or we're gonna get missile spammed. Alright, juked those. Cool.
Shield hit. Weapon systems destroyed.
You know, I wasn't using that wing anyways, so who needs it? That is one of the downsides of the Mustang. It can be a little frail. Yeah, the wings tend to fall off for, like, no reason at all. Or it can feel that way. Or these NPCs are... I don't know if the server's running better now, or I'm just flying worse, but...
Shield hit.
Damn it!
Guy's decently evasive. Switch power back to shields for just a minute here. Try to keep this guy's shields from regenerating.
Shield failure.
Alright, we got some dinged up engines.
Special delivery.
And more missiles.
Son of a bitch.
Alright, well, if this Avenger wants to go first, give him a shot. I think that Cutlass Black was getting me a little bit on the last one, and that's why I was taking so much damage.
Shit.
With my mustache, that is something that I might say. Sadly, it's a full beard now. And no longer just an epic handlebar stash as it once was. Also, how's it going, Leg Earl? Having a good weekend so far? We are not doing too great in this this encounter. Alright, let's try to get some shields back. Let's see if we can keep this guy from getting his shields. There we go. That was some good hits. Well, and his shields came back up. Lovely. Alright, he's taken some hull damage.
Son of a bitch!
And we will probably, one way or another, after this encounter, reship into something a little chunkier. You know, you can do medium bounties with light fighters all day, especially if you're really good with light fighters. I tend to fly bigger ships a little better. I just enjoy them. You know, but really you can do, especially with like a Gladius, if you're... Oh, there we go. With a Gladius, if you're being appropriately evasive, you can pretty much run everything. It's just your time to kill that starts to suffer a bit. There we go. There's the next guy. Alright, now let's go for the actual target. We'll go ahead and give this man a small war crime. Oh, I thought he was already downed. No, he's not. Apparently it's frowned upon to shoot down pilots, but he was kind of obnoxious, so I'm not going to worry about it. Alright. Still got this Cuddy Black left to deal with. Who is apparently just hanging out by the ground? I don't know. We'll find out. There he is. So we are going to have a strong maneuverability advantage over this guy, because the Cuddy Black is one of the smaller multi-crewed ships, but it is a multi-crewed ship, and it does have a turret. Roll to get some blood back in my head.
Weapon ammunition low.
Come on. Okay, he's lost a thruster. He's gonna have problems pointing in a particular direction. Hopefully.
Shield hit. Weapon empty.
Yeah, he's spinning. Oh god. Spinning directly at me, apparently. Alright, he leveled out. I'm gonna switch from... Oh, and he's spinning again. Come on, friendo, let the lasers happen. There we go. Got real up close and personal with that guy. But with the smaller ships, sometimes that can be somewhat effective. When you're flying a smaller ship against a larger one, it just kind of keeps you out of their gun range. Because you can turn faster than they can. At least that's the idea. Alright, we're going to go ahead and switch to something a little bigger. Now, since I'm just running bounties, I don't have anything valuable on my person. So we're just going to take the ultra-fast parking with the ground so that I can respawn at the station. It's a little cheesy, because right now there's not much of a penalty to respawning or cost. So we are just going to wake back up in the med bay. That guy didn't make it very far past the med bay, apparently. Well, apparently all spacemen in Star Citizen wear boxer briefs. It's just mandatory. Haven't added that as a customization option yet. They're not quite on the Baldur's Gate 3 level of weird customization. Alright. And we are going to head out and grab another ship. I might take out something a little chunkier this time.
Welcome to the ASOP field.
So my
retrieval
all-time
system.
favorite series of ships is definitely the Cutlass, of which the blue is kind of it has a slight edge over the Cutlass Black, and the others in a fight, just because it has more maneuverability. The weapons hardpoints are pretty similar across most of them. Other than the Cutlass Red, which is horribly nerfed. The red is like the space ambulance, and as such, they decided not to give it missiles or a turret on top. Instead of a turret on top, they gave it a spotlight. And the spotlight doesn't really do anything, but it lets your co-pilot sit behind you and just point a spotlight at things when they get bored. Which, you know, I guess is valuable. If you just want to give your co-pilot something to do. I don't know. I just, like, on paper, there's ships that are definitely better than the Cutlass, and the Cutlasses are, they have their issues. Parts tend to fall off of them pretty easily when they get shot. But one of the things I really appreciate about them is this MFD lineup. All the screens in your cockpit are just right there.
Thank you. And please visit your...
And it's one of those intangibles that doesn't really show up when you look at the ship's, like, base stats on the Star Citizen wiki or something like that. But it does matter. It makes life easier. I'm gonna lay in a course to Gene. head that way. We do have on the blue if we want them. Some fancy lights.
Quantum drive is now off.
Huh. Well, Legaril, if you're still watching, it looks like your message got auto-deleted by the Google moderator team, which seems unnecessary. That is kind of hilarious.
Quantum drive is now off.
I don't know why they were so offended by a mustache joke, but... Yes, they're robots that take their job seriously. Oh, this is fun. So the other ship, the target, is actually a Cutlass Black, which is the sort of multi-purpose variant of the Cutlass Blue. The blue being like a law enforcement and interdiction ship. We're gonna feed that Cutlass some missiles. Oh man, they better not ban you, Tex. That would be uncharitable. I might need to contact YouTube and, like, file a mustache jokes allowed form. Alright, those missiles went in some crazy directions, but looks like they all kind of pointed the right way eventually.
Congratulations.
And they killed that Buccaneer. Yeah, we'll save the rest. We don't need them.
Your name on it.
So we're going to try to take out the smaller ship first. Who appears to be rapidly drifting away from me in a strange way. There we go. Now he's coming at me.
Son of a bitch.
What is he flying? He's flying an Anvil F-7C Hornet, which is like the civilian version of the Anvil Hornet military medium fighter. Mustache. That is going to be real confusing to somebody wandering in, but, you know, they can ask if they've got questions. That's what we're here for. Explaining the basics of Star Citizen bounties and also weird mustache jokes. Alright, so the ads are both down. All that's left is the bounty target, which is a Cutlass Black. And we're gonna go grab him. rear shields are down, his front shields are hurt. Just took out another thruster.
Congratulations.
And he's done. Sometimes it's, I don't know, I take a weird enjoyment out of watching them fall from the sky now that there's more persistent entity stuff in the game. You can actually go in and loot the ships after they crash. But there's usually not really much worthwhile in them. Oh, and that's the turrets on that bunker. We'll wander off so they don't have a reason to shoot me more. And let's grab another medium. Run through it real quick. Maybe try a high. But the Cutlass Black is pretty cheap. It's less than 2 million credits in-game. So if you start out with a starter ship, you're not too far from grinding your way up to a Cutty Black. Oh, my route did not set properly. I see your message, Leggeril. How you doing? I started my weekend a bit early. And by a bit early, I mean noon. Since I am in what they call summer hours at my job. Which, officially, they took summer hours away from us this year. Unofficially, my department manager said, if I catch anyone working past noon on a Friday, you'd better have a good reason. So, I didn't argue with him. You know, it's not really my place. Alright, so they do this on some of the bounties. Like, this guy is near an NPC bunker,
Quantum drive is now off.
but not right at it. So you kind of have to route your way over to him. Which won't take too long. The Cutlass Blue is the fastest Cutlass, so... Just hang out for a second, look at our sweet police lights. I do wish that they could give you a little siren. So you could, like, honk your horn and make it do the wah wah as you pull up to people. But they don't. And I'm afraid to suggest something like that to CIG because I don't want to add another 11 years to the development time. So yeah, it seems like this guy is forever away, but we're going 1,000 meters a second. And he's 50 kilometers away. That's not so bad. I'm kind of angling up. I've got my cruise control set, so I'm going dead ahead at full speed, but I'm also pushing on the up thrust a little bit as I get close. Makes life a little easier to come into the encounter from above. I mean, partially I think you get a little bit of an advantage there. Kind of see everything before you get closer. Partially because it just means I'm less likely to fly into the ground. What do we got? We have a Gladius. The target is flying a Hornet. We're going to hit this Gladius with some missiles before we get closer, just because Gladiuses can be super evasive. Or I will if my... There we go. Got it.
Contact.
And that took care of the Gladius. Staying Delta. I love those missiles. They're the Rattlers, which are like a multiple warhead thing. And I don't know, I think they're pretty effective. Mostly I just love them because they look super cool. They do the, oh, jeez. They do the, like, Macross or Gundam, thing where it's just like a swarm of tiny missiles flying out in different directions and then closing in on the bad guy. And that's fun. So he's already pretty damaged. Somebody's shooting at me from the side, so I'm just gonna thrust a little bit to stay out of the way. What is that? That looks like an eclipse. Alright. It was a very dramatic explosion for the size of ship. But the bounty target's down. We're gonna grab this eclipse now. Shields are down. Chin just a little bit. His shields came back, but he already took hull damage, so one good pass should let us accomplish something. And he's down. Lovely. That was it for that one. And we still haven't taken any hull damage, so no huge need to repair. We're still at 14 out of 24 missiles that we started with, so I can live with that. Let's switch it up. We're gonna take a high-risk bounty this time. And see how it goes. Disclaimer, I might die. I'm a little out of practice on ship-to-ship combat, honestly. Been doing a lot of space trucking and salvaging recently. And not a ton of pew-pew. At least we don't have to go so far to find this guy. He's right at a point of interest that we can want him to, which we did. So he's only going to be 22 kilometers away. Already in on him. Alright. Slow down a little bit. He is flying an Anvil Hurricane, which is not too bad. Sometimes the high-risk ones will give you a Reclaimer. It's not the hardest ship to kill, but just takes forever. got 3 size 3 shields. Feed him some missiles on the way in.
Hydrogen fuel is at 75%. Congratulations.
Go. And now we've got missiles. Ooh, I think I juked him. Nice. All about that 90-degree turn at the last minute. Got this Avenger follow us up. His shields are already down. Yeah, there we go.
Is destroyed.
What's left? An Eclipse. Two Eclipses? I think so.
Shit.
What are you nice stealth ships doing all the way out here doing criminal activities? Supposedly they're testing with the next 3.20 patch, expanding the pool of NPC ships. Which, it'll be nice.
Congratulations.
It'll just give us a little more variety.
Congratulations. Target is destroyed.
Nice, and that guy is down too. Alright. Let's do one more high, see how it goes. Yeah, exactly. Well, it'll like right now they have like 6 or 7 ships that you primarily see, and they totally don't make sense. For like what they have. Like, why are they flying Aegis Eclipses? The Eclipse is supposed to be a stealth ship that fires torpedoes. You know, and it's plausible that, like, yeah, criminals could get a hold of some advanced technology. But all the criminals have them. That's kind of nonsensical. Like, it should be a lot more like Drake Buccaneers and, I don't know, Avengers. And, you know, maybe just some random, like, more mercantile ships with, like, a low percentage of showing up, but who still are sometimes there. Like, that would make a lot of sense. Like, why not occasionally fight a caterpillar? Like, in the lore, the Drake Caterpillar is supposed to be a ship that criminals use a lot. I don't know, what else don't we see? We don't ever see variants of the Mustang other than the Delta. And really, like, both the Mustang and the Aurora are relatively cheap ships. So it would make sense for criminals to have them. Alright, we're 50 kilometers out on this guy. Just watch this bounty, they're gonna give me the Reclaimer. And, of course, we have... Oh, they did give me a reclaimer. Okay, this might be entertaining to watch.
Contact.
Like, and the reclaimer's another one that it doesn't really make sense why bad guys keep flying it around. It is a capital salvage ship. Why are all these criminals flying it around to do crimes? Come on. Give me the missile lock, please. So I'm going to try... I'm not going to waste my missiles on the reclaimer. Even if I got lucky, any of its hull components are way too beefy. It's seriously damaged with a size 2 missile. I'm just going to try to get one of the ads. Or they're going to missile me. Yep. Alright, so I'm kind of flying out because I know that the reclaimer... I've already aggroed the reclaimer, but I know it can't keep up with me, as well as its escorts. So if I can get the escorts a little bit alone, that's good for me. Look at all those pretty cluster munitions. And the missiles are flying off random. Having a bit of sync.
Shield system is hit.
Some jerk with scatterguns is shooting at me. I think the reclaimer's coming up, so I'm trying to be evasive. Reclaimer's got a pair of size 5 guns on the top turret, and I really don't want to get caught with those. Those will shoot through my shields real quick. Alright, got an Origin M50 Interceptor. Very speedy ship, but it has 0 tank, so should wipe that pretty quick. He flies at me in a straight line like this. Way. There we go. Damage on him, let my guns come back up,
Congratulations. Target is destroyed.
and splash. And we got 2 more missiles left. We might as well use them on the reclaimer.
Shield system is hit.
Now we'll begin the process of shooting this man in the butt until he dies. which is not exciting, but is, I don't know, it's satisfying. Especially on a ship this much bigger than mine. Almost got his rear shields down. Get tagged a little bit there, so I'm going to balance out my power for a minute. And let my front shields come back up. We're not in a hurry. Shields back. Gonna switch power back to guns. Now we are all the way through his rear shields. And really, you could do this, you know, once you kill the ads. This is not that bad to do with any ship, because, or any smaller ship. With the NPC reclaimers, or even with a player-controlled reclaimer, they turn so slowly that you can stay away from the turrets. And if you're close enough, even if the turrets are facing you, you can dodge out of their way. There we go. And on that, I am probably going to call it for today. I will be streaming on Twitch tomorrow night, going live around 8 or 8:30. We'll be doing some crude salvage if anybody wants to check it out. But I do appreciate you showing up, and I hope you have a great day, and I see y'all later. Thank you very much.